Hello, gorgeous goddess. How are you today? Welcome to another recording of the Lovegodesss podcast with your host, Katya Melvin. And today I want to speak on feminine masculine polarity in a different way. In a different way. Um, I'm a lover of speaking about feminine and masculine, but and the reason why is there's so many different ways and angles to look at this because it's not just one dimensional, it's multi-dimensional, and there is so many spiritual meanings that go into it. We already know that feminine is the energy of the flowing and pleasure and receiving. Feminine is the spontaneous and wild and a little bit of chaotic, right? Where masculine is more of a organized energy, very structured. It's very on point. It's linear. It's logical. It's the stuff that makes sense, right? And so when you are in your masculine, you get logical stuff done, but you are lacking the feminine element within yourself, and that could lead you to burnout, right? When, oh, my leg. When you are in your feminine, you can operate from that. Like, in fact, this is a master skill. Some women I'm in conversation with, I'll ask her, like, okay, so what are you doing today? And her response is like, I'm flowing through life. And like, I know I'm making fun of it, but it's a thing. It is really a thing. Like, yes, in fact, it's even more masterful way of living life is when you're flowing through life and shit still happens and you make money and things come to you. It's when you mastered the skill of life, things, money, love, situations just come to you because you mastered the feminine way. You mastered the law of energy. You mastered the energetics. And while we queens are still hustling and going to work and doing the hard work, right? It is not through hard work that you get results in life. And I'll be one of the one of the unpopular opinions, right? It's not through hard work that you get results in life. You can, yes, you can, but it's gonna take blood, sweat, and takeaways, and it's not gonna be as impactful as if you are going through the art and science of flowing through life. And that requires master skills. That requires energy work daily for hours, right? Requires a lot of empty space. A lot of people are not comfortable with empty space. The reason why a lot of people will not be successful with flow because they think, oh, it's doing nothing. No, it's the energy work, very intentional energy work that actually takes a lot of energy out of you, right? But you operate on the energetic realm versus physical realm. A lot of people physical, they're busy, and when they have nothing to do, they try to fill it with food, Netflix, show, social media, you name it, right? A lot of people are not comfortable. They don't know what to do with themselves. Nobody has ever taught them the energy, the energetics of life, the principles of life that are energy based, how you can create life and outcomes and situations. And this is exactly what I'm going through in my Love Goddess Academy. And this is exactly what Cleopatras, which are up-leveled women who are already love goddesses, are going through with me to learn the masterful skill of that balancing. But the next level from that is the flow, right? And so don't, like, while I'm making fun of it, it's a thing, it's a serious thing, and I admire those who mastered it. But the problem is, those are very, very few people who actually mastered it, and the rest are just BSing. So the job becomes to, like, really find out who is the real thing and who is not, right? And while for my life right now, it is important to have that balance between the masculine and knowing the structures and the feminine. So there are energetics to life, and then there are rules to life that society has created. Both of them can go together in unison, creating this beautiful life within our society that we have created, right? And so, but today we're talking about feminine and masculine way from a place in the standpoint of giving and receiving, right? So your masculine is your giving, you're the provider, right? Like, masculine role is to provide, to support, be the container. So imagine feminine, and I use this analogy very often. Imagine the feminine being the water. Imagine the feminine being the water, and the glass is being a container for the water, right? Glass is supporting, providing, giving structure to the feminine, the flow. Without the feminine, the water would just spill everywhere and there would not be a shape to water. So the masculine gives water direction. The masculine gives water the structure. The masculine is what gives water the shape, right? And so masculine is super important. Don't underestimate masculine. It's the masculine and feminine together when they work as a team, not when they compete. Oh, I can do men's job and I can take the hammer and put the nail into the wood. Like that's not what it's about. And served its place. It's gotten women, like, we've been living in a patriarchal society for so long where women were considered devalued, and where the only purpose or value to a woman was to raise kids or birth kids, right? In fact, a lot of it is now where seeking love in a relationship, marriage was created just to maintain those social, to, like, it was created for wealth protection purposes, or I wouldn't say wealth protection, but marriage was an institute to legalize wealth transfer, right? And the only purpose for a woman in patriarchal society was to produce the next of kin who could take over. And love was not the basis for marriage for a very, very long time until now, right? And now we're seeking love, and we're seeking love in marriage. And marriage is such a stifling environment that it requires quite an effort to keep that fire going. That's why a lot of marriages fail, because marriage is a stifling conditions. Love cannot thrive properly unless you maintain it properly, right? That's how the entire Love Goddess movement came about. And like, this is exactly what I'm teaching in the Love Goddess Academy. Like, how do you maintain love, and love in the past, love and spice, right? Like, those are two different things, by the way. You can love a person, but you may not want to have sex with that person. Love and desire are two different things, right? When in the past, a lot of times men found their love outside of marriage. And while it was frowned upon, it was a very common case scenario, right? That's why there were courtesans in the past, and they were considered the most blessed, amazing, pampers women who were admired, right? For their brain, for the fact that they were not marriage material, right? But they were very extravagant and smart. And those women a lot of them came from nowhere. But I drifted, right? Today we're talking about feminine and masculine, and how masculine is about giving structure, support, and feminine is about flowing and the content itself, right? And feminine is about receiving that support, receiving that structure, receiving the pleasure, receiving the blessings, receiving. So masculine is about giving and feminine is about receiving, right? And the definition a lot of times could be who is the provider and who is the receiver, right, in a relationship, right? From a spiritual standpoint, the game of life is really the game of giving and receiving. In fact, the most important law in the universe outside of law of attraction is the law of giving, receiving. What you give out, you receive. Law of attraction, actually, it is the law of attraction anyway, right? Like what vibration you give out, you receive that, right? And so what you give out, you receive, right? Masculine is to give out what you give out, and feminine is the receive. So if you give out anger, if you give out hate, if you give out poverty, if you give out greed, you receive that. If you give out money, you receive money. If you give out love, you receive love. Like, that's the key to life. That is the key to life, right? And so that is the big sense of that balance between masculine and feminine energies all together. My love, all of that is absolutely crucial for you to understand, to have a successful life, to have a life full of fulfillment. If you know the rule of giving, receiving, and how life works, that's half of the secret here to life, right? By the way, did you know that we are opening the Lovegodesss Studio, and we are hosting a week of free classes? So I invite you to come join us. The link is down below with the classes and the dates. I'd love to have you. I'd love for you to test out. We are in Virginia Beach. And with that, I want to say that once you master the art of flow, the art of receiving, because a lot of times we learn how to give. We give all day, every day, but a lot of times we are not able to receive, right? Even receive compliments. My grandma wasn't able to receive money, and that was part of my money story there, right? Like somebody would give her something, she would like, oh, don't, you don't need to pay for this, right? And like, you have to accept what's coming at you, because whatever is coming at you is a gift from God, right? Practice the law of receiving. Practice the receiving part, my love. This is the feminine part. We live in masculine society. We mastered how to do things the masculine way, but we have no clue, we women here right now, no clue how to do things in a feminine way, how to receive, how to live in a feminine way, how to receive, how to be in the flow. And that would be the magic of life. If we can master that, we mastered life. Thank you for tuning in to my podcast today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on another recording of Lovegodesss Podcast with your host, Katya Melvin. Bye.